What is the most important instrument in kirtan?
The voice.
I would say, let me rephrase that question. What is the most dangerous instrument? Which instrument has the power to create a kirtan and destroy a kirtan? What was the instrument that Prabhupada first started chanting the holy name with? Cartals, right? Super powerful. Tala. If you have the rhythm and you have the mantra, that's all you need. Mahaprabhu, there's that beautiful song. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, is that the one that talks about? It talks about Mahaprabhu, the sound of his voice while he's softly playing kartals and singing. It creates such an image in my mind. You just imagine coming around the corner of the room in the Gambhira and there's Mahaprabhu. Just chanting with kartals. So kartals are a really important instrument. Let's talk about some of our favorite things about kartals. Who's got a favorite thing about kartals? Something they love about kartals?
They're really loud.
You like that?
So when it's appropriate, yeah.
Kartals are like, yes, they're like the punk rock instrument.
There's so many different sounds you can create, like the different ways you play it, and where you play it on the kartal. You can make it real sweet. So many different moods you can create, even just during one kirtan. Like even Mangal Arati, there'll be different moods, even just through the half an hour. You have to play it differently.
Absolutely. That's a good point, really good point.
It's difficult to get that with the harmonium, I think, sometimes. It's just easy if there's if you're not skilled with the harmonium.
They look cool. They look cool. They're similar to a ninja star.
They get even louder when you play them in an all-marble temple.
I like the fact that they just add that X factor to kirtan. Like if you hear a kirtan going without any kartals and then someone starts playing, it's just like, wow. It sounds so good.
It's nice when kartals tuned. Because very often in every temple I've been to, really, I pick up and they're out of tune, and they bang them so loud, and it cues you cue them.
Wait, we're just talking about what we like first. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there in a second.
I like the way there are lots of them in every temple for anyone to pick up and play.
Well, that is another beautiful thing about kartals, that it's one of the most accessible instruments, and that the beats that we play, while actually musically they're quite complex. If you actually were to have to teach someone them according to like proper rhythm, the structure of them is very simple, so anyone can learn them. Like kids, my son, he already knows this one. He's in that too. Right? That's like every kid learns that beat on the kartals.
I like that it feels that particular frequency in the spectrum. There's nothing else that fills that space in a kirtan.
Let's talk about some of the things we don't like about kartals.
What's not to like?
Sometimes it's so loud they get through my brain. It's like a piercing. Like I'm being honest. Like sometimes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
When it's like that and it's piercing your brain and you think, oh my God, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
Do you ever notice that if you pick up a pair of kartals and start smashing them together, it's okay?
That's what I do.
It somehow or other relieves some of the pressure. Have you ever noticed that?
Not really. Actually, I know someone else was complaining about me because I had these kartals and I was doing it in the house, and someone in the house was just going, "Man, this is too much."
Well, at the time, did it feel like it was too loud to you?
I was having fun.
Yeah. Does anyone else have that experience that you're in kirtan and like you're thinking, oh God, and then you see, oh, there's an extra pair of wampers. It's strange. I don't know. It's a strange thing because the participatory piece of kirtan is one of the most beautiful things about kirtan. Everyone's welcome. But yeah, the kartals are a problem. It's funny because so many devotees who complain about kartals and kirtan are more than happy to pick up a pair, even if there's already 2 or 3 pairs of kartals going. Because everyone seems to think they don't know how to play kartals, but I am a good kartal player. So by adding one more pair of kartals, they will learn to follow the master. So, what else? Anyone else? Anything they don't like about kartals?
I don't like how they can force a leader to go faster in kirtan.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
point. Has anyone experienced that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or drag.
Or drag?
Yeah.
Cause it's drag.
But
Yeah.
usually go faster.
Usually goes faster.
When played by women, they usually drag, and when played by men, they usually go faster. That's what I've noticed.
The other thing is people stop chanting and they start playing. So
Yeah.
you end up with more kartals and less chanting.
That's true for all instruments, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That kind of brings us to the A1, number one foundational lighthouse of kirtan principle. If whatever you're doing is causing you to stop chanting, stop doing that and begin chanting again.
Yeah. Even if it's just clapping, someone just like, no, just stop.
Clapping,
Yeah.
dancing,
Yeah.
mridanga playing,
Yeah.
kartal playing,
Closing the
harmonium
eyes.
playing,
Texting.
texting.
If you can text and chant, it's fine.
You know, an interesting thing about kirtan yesterday, Janarda, is by the third kind of Mahamantra melody, is like the last half hour of the kirtan, we were all so locked in as a community chanting. It didn't matter if people were playing kartals. It didn't matter if the drums stopped or started. It didn't matter if the harmonium stopped or started. That kirtan was like trucking. You know? That's where kirtan should be, where it just doesn't really matter. All the externals fade, and all you're left with is the holy name. Even the melody gets to a point where it's like, as long as you're in the ballpark, kind of, it's fine, you know. So that's probably the number one thing to remember in kirtan, is that whatever you're doing, and you know, ultimately, this is my meditation, that the holy name is like a deity, right? You're offering it to the deity also, but if you're not in the physical presence of the deity, the harmonium is like a deity form of the Lord, a sound form. And let's, you know, dress the deity. Let's put some little ankle bells on the deity. Hare Krishna. You know, right? Or let's put a little peacock feather. You know, you're just, everything's an offering to that form of the Lord. But it's really tricky. It's tricky. One devotee at Rath Yatra in New York said to me, he was playing cowbell. All of you guys who enjoy cowbell will appreciate that. He was playing cowbell, and he had the cowbell facing up, like this, away from him. And he was banging on the cowbell, and it was right here. It was like, oh! The cowbell was right in my ear. And I said to him, the whole time thinking, oh God, how do I tell him without offending him that this is really too loud? So I said, Prabhu, could you just put the cowbell down a little bit and play a little softer? Like, I didn't even tell him to stop. I just said, could you just drop it down and play a little softer, because it's right here. And he said, why are you trying to ruin Rath Yatra for me? Oh, I thought that was so funny. It's like, what's the worst possible response you can hope from someone? You know, Prabhu, could you stop playing kartals a little bit? Why are you ruining my spiritual life? I'm just trying to chant and kirtan, you know. You think I'll say it in a really nice way. Could you just lower it? Just aim it away from my head a little softer. Why are you trying to ruin Rath Yatra for me? So, yeah, it's a sensitive thing. But I think with the consciousness that we're all starting to develop around kartal playing, around kirtan in general, that maybe we can all be more sensitive and maybe it'll start to be like a little bit of a movement within the movement of a little more sensitive playing certain instruments. Because there's no easy way to do this, you know. People always tell me, you know, you're the kirtan leader, so just can you make an announcement? No one who doesn't know how to play kartals is allowed to play. How am I supposed to make that happen?